Salve te discipuli. This is Help for Your Latin Studies in Henle First Year Latin, exercise 224. In this exercise, we are translating sentences from English into Latin. Watch out for your verbs. Are they passive or active voice? Watch out also for your nouns, your ablatives. Are they an ablative of agent or means? Are they nominative or genitive? All of these things will matter as we translate them into Latin. So, sentence number 1 says, the enemy's cavalry was being killed by darts. Okay, in English, I like to ask about I like to parse the sentence by asking questions. So my first question would be, who or what is the sentence about? It's not about the enemy, it's about the cavalry, right? The cavalry is what's being killed. So cavalry is the subject. And enemy is telling us whose cavalry, the cavalry belonging to the enemy. So this is a possessive noun. And in English, we would call that a possessive noun adjective modifying the subject noun, cavalry. So this is a possessive noun adjective, I'll write there. Who or what is being said, rather, about the cavalry? It was being killed. We have a helping verb, action verb. And all together, that is our Latin verb. And the ending will help us get all of these pieces together, telling us person, number, tense, and voice, right? The action of being killed is happening to the subject, to the cavalry. The cavalry is the thing being killed, right? And so it's in the passive voice. I'm going to make a note here that it's in the passive voice. It's past tense, ongoing. It was being killed. So that's an imperfect tense. And it has to agree with the subject in person and number. So this is a third person plural. Cavalry is a collection of horsemen. And so we're going to list this as a third person plural verb as well in the passive voice. Okay, and what were the means by which the cavalry was being killed? The ablative of means, that's what we're after. By darts. They were being killed with darts or by means of darts. And when we have an ablative of means, we will not translate that preposition by. We will simply give the ablative form of this noun, and it happens to be plural. So this is an ablative, plural, and it's a neuter noun. Our vocabulary word is tellum, telli, so that's a second declension ending nominative gender. Okay. When we show possession, I'm coming back here to the beginning. When we show possession in Latin, we put that noun in the genitive case. So this is going to be a genitive. The word for enemy, similarly to cavalry, is plural, unless you simply mean one man. But generally speaking, the enemy was a group of men, a group of bad people. So genitive, it's plural, and hostis, hostis is a third declension noun. Okay, cavalry. Cavalry is our subject, so that's going to be in the nominative case. It's a collection of horsemen, so that is plural. It's a plural noun. And it's from our third declension noun, eques, equitus. And I would say by natural gender, horsemen, by natural gender rule, this is a masculine noun. All right, so I believe we have what we need here in order to put the proper endings to these words in Latin. So we'll start with our subject noun, cavalry, eques, equitus. And when I think about the nominative plural ending of that third declension noun, various is eme, ace. So my stem is equit, and my ending would be ace, equites. And then I want to give that genitive form beside it. so that we can show that possession relationship. The enemies. In Latin often, or when you translate from Latin to English, often those genitive nouns would sound like of the enemy. So we could say the cavalry of the enemy, as well as the enemy's cavalry, and it means the same thing. But we want the genitive plural ending for our word enemy. Hostis, hostis. So thinking through again our third declension noun endings, various is, and then ace, although remember our vocabulary words, the nominative and genitive singular forms, hostis, hostis, both have 2 syllables. And when you have a matching number of syllables in those 2 forms, then your genitive plural ending will be ium. So, hostium. Equites, hostium, the enemy's cavalry. Let's skip over the verb, give our ablative of means next, and we'll finish our Latin sentence with that verb. So our word for dart is tellum, telli. We want that in the ablative plural form. So I want to think through the second declension neuter noun endings. We have I, o in the singular form, and then a, orum, is, a, is. So tellis, we'll take our stem, tell, and give it the ablative plural ending is. We will not include that preposition. Remember, when we have an ablative of means, we simply give that word in the ablative form. And finally, we're brought to our verb, was being killed. We want this in the passive voice, imperfect tense, third person, plural. And this particular verb is in the third conjugation, accido, accidere. Okay, so we'll start with occid, O-C-C-I-D, and we want to figure out which ending will satisfy passive imperfect, third person plural. So I'm looking here in the passive voice on page 57 of the grammar book. Passive voice, this middle column is our third conjugation. Imperfect tense is here, and third person plural is the last one listed. Our model noun says mit a banter. Our ending then is a banter. You see the unter, meaning third person plural, passive. The ba is our imperfect tense indicator, and the e with the macron here is our connecting vowel of the third conjugation. So accide banter. So your final Latin sentence would be equites hostium tellis occide banter. I hope this has been helpful. Have a great day.